We're going to be talking a lot about habits in this program. Good habits, bad habits, breaking habits, creating habits. So speaking of habits, we have a question for everyone. This is a question we often ask at our multi-day, full immersion live events. Why do people smoke? We receive a lot of different answers to this question, and they typically run the gamut. Many find it surprising when I share that I can speak from personal experience on this topic. In my younger years, after my college basketball days were over, I started that door-to-door sales company, and I also started smoking. And I smoked for a number of years. In fact, off and on for nearly a decade. And even though I haven't smoked in over 20 years, it's still hard to say if the hoarseness that I consistently wrestle with as a speaker has anything to do with being a previous smoker. The jury may be out, so to speak, but one thing's for certain, it didn't help. So, back to that question we often ask at our live events. Why do people smoke? Addiction to nicotine? Stress management? Anxiety? Habit? Routine? Social influence? Their environment? Emotional associations and identity? Weight control? Focus? Most often, though, we hear two answers on opposite ends of the spectrum. The number one answer, difficulty quitting. In other words, they really want to quit, but they feel addicted. They've tried to quit, maybe many times, but end up starting back up again. And on the other end is the number two answer. And believe it or not, it's not a very close second place. They say, I like it, and I don't want to quit. Now, if you're a smoker, you likely fall somewhere in this range. Now, to be clear, this training segment isn't exactly about getting anyone here to quit smoking. But for me personally, I certainly hope that happens too. Somehow, some way, we're going to see if we can turn this video about smoking into something about margins. This video is also designed to be a further representation of how someone has decided to make an investment in you. In my life, I found that sometimes the messages we need the most show up in the most unexpected ways. As we answer this question, why do people smoke? Let's be sure we're all on the same page. Do we believe it's good for us? I mean, look at this artist rendering of a cigarette. We can see the person in the smoke and the ashes, appearing to be collapsing before us, perhaps gasping for their very last breath. Seems rather accurate if we don't quit. And then there's this beautiful image. Here we can see the deliciousness of some sort of giant ashtray. Appetizing, isn't it? Just looks like the model of healthy living, does it not? Can't we all just smell this picture? And then we have another artist rendering. This time, in replacement of the trachea, a pair of lungs is being supplied by a cigarette. As we can see, the lungs are being tarred from top down and filled with smoke and ash. But what the heck? It's only art, right? Next up, we have the Smoking Man. Now, I believe this is an image from the old show, The X-Files. It was a great show in the 90s, lasting nearly 10 seasons, if I recall. If you're a fan of conspiracy theories and extraterrestrial life living among us, I highly recommend about the first 5 seasons or so. Doesn't this picture look like the epitome of health? You know, the show originally called this Smoking Man CSM, which in later seasons was revealed to mean Cancer Man. Perhaps Hollywood was trying to give us a not-so-subtle hint. Let's have a look at this next guy. This guy easily has more than 2 packs of smokes stuffed in his mouth all at once. And they appear to all be lit. He's also in front of a no smoking sign. While he's a rule breaker, I would also imagine he's also likely a very funny guy. How many of us would actually attempt to smoke 20 or more cigarettes all at once? Probably not too many of us. But how many smokers have built themselves up to smoking 2 packs a day? Let's do a little calculating. Let's say someone smokes 2 packs per day. That's 20 cigarettes per day. Over the course of the year, that's 365 days. That's a total of 7,300 cigarettes per year. And if a person was to smoke for 30 years, that equates to 219,000 cigarettes. Nearly 250,000 cancer sticks sucked into our lungs. I think we can all agree this certainly cannot be good. Sooner or later, we're likely to look like this guy. Looks like the damage is being done, especially over there to the left side of his face. If he keeps it up, it's only a matter of time before he looks like this guy. Game, set, match. Right? We all know the chances of this happening to us if we continue smoking are nearly guaranteed, right? So I'll ask the question again. If we know this is highly likely to be the final outcome, why do people smoke? Well, I have a different answer than any of the previous answers that we've discussed. And I've got to be honest with you. I believe this answer to be 100% right. 100% of the time. Why do people smoke? Because smoking won't kill you today. That's right. I believe that's the only reason people truly smoke. Because smoking won't kill you today. How can I be so sure? Let me see if I can prove it to you. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. I want you to imagine for a minute as we're getting ready to break from our team meeting today, we hear a number of emergency vehicles racing down the road, sirens and horns blaring. And not a huge deal, probably an accident or a fire somewhere down the road. As the meeting wraps up, all of the smokers begin to congregate as usual just outside the front door. More sirens outside, and then all of our phones start going crazy. Everyone's getting emergency alerts on their phone. There's been an act of terrorism, and it's sweeping the country. We turn the TV inside the facility on and tune to a trusted local news network. As we click through the channels, every channel is running the exact same story and the same emergency warning. National authorities are warning everyone not to light a cigarette. Reports are coming in from all over the globe. Somehow terrorists have laced cigarettes with some type of new bioengineered chemical, and people are dying by the tens of thousands this morning. Just as we turn to warn our friends outside the front door, we see some type of commotion and hysteria outside. One of our teammates lit up, and with the first deep inhale, their head exploded like a grape. There's blood and bones and brain matter everywhere. People are running, people are screaming, and sirens are everywhere. This terrorist attack is not specific to a brand. It's not specific to a region or a country. It's happening everywhere. And every pack seems to be laced with at least 1 or 2 of these deadly smokes. Gruesome, yes. Possible, unlikely. Let me ask you this. Would you keep lighting up? Would you risk it? Are you that addicted? Is it really the nicotine, the stress? Is the anxiety and the habit that strong? Are the social norms, the emotional associations, the identity of being a smoker worth it? What about weight control, the focus, or the fact that you just like it? Or is the reason we continue to smoke knowing it's not good for us because it won't kill you today? I firmly believe that if this scenario were to play out, smoking would end within roughly 24 hours. Most people would quit immediately, and they would resist the urge to ever light up again, no matter how great the meal. how many beers they'd had, how great the sex was, how long the drive was, how stressed they were, how long they'd worked, how many bills they were behind on, or whatever divorce or child custody battle that they were dealing with, I believe smoking would end worldwide. And those that couldn't resist the urge would all be dead within 24 hours. And either way, smoking would cease to exist. See, I believe that we're stronger than we think we are. I believe we're more capable than we would like to tell ourselves. I believe we can do just about anything we put our mind to. Sometimes we just have to find our reason and our motivation. And now that we've had a serious conversation about why people really smoke, let's get ready to chat about dropping our price, waiving diagnostics, including diagnostics with the repair, discounting our jobs, reduced margins in our business. Maybe, just maybe, we'll have a few less smokers among us. If that's the case, I believe both you and your family will thank you for it.